Okay, let's talk about something that's about to change pretty much everything we do online here in Ghana. There's a major new law on the table, the Electronic Transactions Bill. We're going to decode exactly what it means for you.
You know how it is. You do it a dozen times a day. You click agree, you type your name in a box. But have you ever actually stopped to wonder if that holds up? Like, legally? Is it the same as signing a physical piece of paper? For a long time, the answer has been, well, kind of murky.
Well, all that uncertainty, it's about to go away. This new bill is designed to give us clear answers and, way more importantly, some real solid protection in our digital lives.
So, you might be thinking, why now? Why do we suddenly need a whole new law for this stuff? The simple answer is that our online world has been moving at lightning speed, right? But our laws, well, they've been stuck playing catch-up. This bill is that big catch-up moment.
When you strip it all down, this bill is really about one thing: building trust. The whole point is to create a safer digital Ghana, a place where everybody, from you and me to the biggest companies, can feel confident and secure whenever we buy, sell, or just interact online.
All right, let's get into the nitty-gritty. How does this law actually make your digital actions count for real? This is all about giving the pixels on your screen the same legal power as ink on paper. And this is the big shift right here. We're moving away from a world that needed physical signatures, original paper copies, and in-person meetings. The new way means your electronic signature is now legally recognized. That digital file, it's as good as the original. You can even get documents notarized online now. It's a whole new ballgame.
So what stops anyone from just typing your name? What makes an e-signature legit? Well, the law sets out 3 key tests. First, it has to be uniquely linked to you and only you. Second, you had to be the one in control of the device when it was signed. And third, and this is crucial, the document has to be basically tamper-proof so that any little change made after you sign is immediately obvious. Okay, now that we know our clicks have real power, let's talk about something we all do: shopping online. This is where the law really steps up and gives us, the consumers, some serious new protections. Just think of this as your brand new online shopping checklist. From now on, sellers can't hide in the shadows. They have to tell you exactly who they are, where they're based, and the total price. No more surprise fees at checkout. And they have to be crystal clear about their delivery times and, of course, their return and refund policies. And here's a number you're going to want to remember: 14. That's right, the new law gives you a 2-week, no questions asked cooling off period to return most things you buy online. That's a huge new protection against that feeling of buyer's remorse.
And believe me, this law has teeth. If a seller doesn't give you all that required information up front, the power shifts completely to you. You get to cancel the contract within 14 days, send the item back, and they are legally required to give you a full refund within 30 days.
So, who's actually going to make sure everyone is playing by these new rules? It's time to meet the new digital referees. The bill sets up an official body called the Certifying Agency, and that job goes to the National Information Technology Agency, or NITA. A good way to think of them as like the Food and Drugs Authority, but for our digital lives. They're the ones who will make sure the services we use are safe and authentic. And NITA's going to be busy. They're the new gatekeepers. They'll be the ones issuing licenses to companies that provide these digital signature services. They'll monitor them constantly. And yeah, they can suspend or even revoke those licenses if a company steps out of line. They are, for all intents and purposes, the guardians of our new digital trust. All right, let's zoom out and talk about the biggest players online, because this bill isn't just for small local shops. It puts some major new responsibilities squarely on the shoulders of big tech. The bill actually creates a whole new category called Very Large Online Platforms, or VLOPs for short. And we're not talking about your average website here. To be a VLOP, you need a massive user base. We're talking 45 million active users every single month, and you have to have a pretty significant impact on our society. And here's where it gets really serious. The law is basically saying that with that kind of massive reach comes a much, much bigger responsibility. These giant platforms now have a legal duty to protect all of us from major online risks. So what does that duty look like in practice? Well, it means they have to actively hunt for problems like hate speech and disinformation on their own platforms. They have to report their plans for fixing these problems to NITA, and they have to be transparent with all of us about it. Oh, and a big one, they have to put strong age verification systems in place to protect kids. And speaking of protecting kids, this quote from the bill is just so powerful and direct. It's a total, flat-out ban or using a child's personal data for targeted ads. Period. It's easily one of the strongest protections for minors in the entire law.
Phew, okay. So we've covered a lot, right? The legal power of your click, your new shopping rates, the new rules for big tech. Let's try to bring it all together and figure out what this really means for the future of digital Ghana.
When it comes right down to it, the bottom line is this. The goal is to make our digital world less like the Wild West. It's about creating a space that's safer, where the rules are clearer and where everyone, from the smallest seller to the biggest platform, is held accountable. It's about building a digital foundation we can all finally trust. Now, this bill is a huge step forward, no question. But technology, it never stands still, does it? So it leaves us with one last really important question to think about. As our lives move even deeper into the digital world, what's the next big frontier our laws are going to have to conquer?